You love your partner. You show up, you do your part, and yet it still feels like something's not right. Something's missing. That emotional tension, the awkward silence after a disagreement, or that feeling of walking on eggshells because you're both frustrated and you don't know how to say it. Does that sound familiar? Ever have that moment in your relationship? What if I told you that the most underrated way to reconnect with your partner doesn't start with them, but with you and a notebook? Yes, a notebook. Now, before you click away saying this is not for me, let me say this. I'm not talking about writing poetry or a Dear Diary entry. I'm talking about a tool that helped me become a better husband, a better grounded man, and a safer space for my wife emotionally. Now, this episode isn't about becoming more emotional, it's about becoming more aware. And that one shift can transform your entire relationship. Let's be real. Even good relationships hit a wall. You get triggered, you argue, you shut down, or you explode. And then you regret what you said, or you get into this place of what you didn't say. According to relationship experts, most relationship arguments happen not because couples or partners don't love each other, but because you haven't processed what you're feeling before you speak. And that's why I bring up journaling as a tool. Now, this journaling thing, it isn't about being soft, it's not weak, it's a strategic awareness. It's a safe space to do just that. Let you deal with your triggers before they become a problem for your partner. And there's silent science to back this. Studies show how journaling helps reduce stress, regulate emotions, and improve communication. When when you write, you slow down, you process, you notice patterns, you gain clarity on what you're really feeling, and not just what you're reacting to. And the truth is, you can't share what you haven't processed. And when you understand what's happening inside of you, you stop projecting it. When I started this journaling thing, when I got into this rhythm of journaling, I didn't just start understanding myself better. I started showing up differently. Arguments that used to trigger me, they didn't. Conversations that used to feel overwhelming, they felt a little clearer, and I could get through them because I wasn't just reacting anymore. I was reflecting. And when you reflect, you respond with intention. Journaling helped me see myself, helped me communicate better and engage better, with my wife because of that. And this rhythm changed a lot of things for us. So I want to do a reframing here, a quick reframe. I'm gonna put it in this light. What if you could email your partner without hitting the send button? I want you to think of journaling like sending your partner an email, but one that you don't send. Journaling journaling will give you a controlled conversation. It gives you the power to choose your words. It's a strategic tool that can be used when there are moments of intense frustration, disagreements, arguments, or when you feel emotionally overwhelmed. And as partners, you can agree, have a conversation that in those moments, take a time out. And then you can sit with what you're feeling. This will keep you from firing off in a moment of heated moment. And that, my friends, that changes a lot of things in a relationship. Journaling creates a pattern for that. It helps you spot patterns, why you shut down, why you explode, why that one comment always gets under your skin. Because once you name it, you can navigate it. And once you navigate it, you can show up clearer, calmer, and more connected. And here's the simple truth. You can't fix what you're not aware of. And you can't connect deeply when you're disconnected from you. You feel me? Now, if this is hitting home, do me a favor. I want you to drop a comment that says, I'm willing to do the work. Family, this is a community of men and women doing the real work in their relationships to show up better. And if you're new here, I want you to subscribe, because here I personally try not to do fluff. It's all about improving relationships and having transformation. So Frank, how do I journal for my relationship? I'm so glad you asked that question, but I want to break this down practically. 3 points, if I can remember them. I want you to write down your desires. What kind of relationship or marriage do you want? What's missing right now? And get specific. Do you want more intimacy, more playfulness, more travel, save more money, more laughter, or more peace? Write it down. You can't build what you haven't defined. So, number 2, let your anger out on paper. Anger makes us all say things and mean things that destroy intimacy. So journal it. Write it out. Cuss if you have to. Vent. And then cool off. And create a sentence or craft a sentence that says, I felt, fill in the blank, when you said or did, fill in the blank. And what I need is, fill in the blank. It's simple, but it's powerful. And my last one, 3, practice tough conversations. Instead of reacting in the moment, journal first. Work out your thoughts before you bring it to your partner. It'll help you communicate with empathy instead of ego and feelings. Write how you think they see the situation and then compare it with your own views. So family, couples, married people, this is the work. This is about being strong enough to pause, to process, to learn yourself so that you can love better. Because the truth is, you don't have to be perfect in a relationship. You just got to be your best self present. And you don't need a counselor in your living room to start healing. So, all you need is 5 quiet minutes, a journal, and the courage to look within before you speak outside. So here's my challenge. Before your next tough conversation, I want you to write first. Just take time to think about what the conversation is and write it out. Start with what I'm really feeling right now and why is the question. And then just spell it out. And family, I want you to share this with someone who's ready to grow, a friend, a partner, a cousin, a brother, because sometimes the best thing we can do in our relationships isn't to talk more. It's to think clearly. And it starts on paper. I'm Frank, and this is Soulful Conversations.